Alright, these are going to be a series of essential smokes for both T side and CT side on the map Dust 2. These smokes are mainly geared toward the T side, since the CT side, like, none of the smokes on the CT side are really like geared towards the whole like you need to like line it up with this and that to get it to land in an exact spot. Most of the smokes on CT side are actually just simple smokes that you just throw to halt a rush or something like that, or to like defuse the bomb or whatever. None of them are really like advanced or anything. It's just a matter of throwing a smoke at a certain area. The first thing I'm going to be showing is a flashbang you can use. Everyone should know it. It's the flash overlong. Basically your objective, like, I see a lot of people, they just do that and they run through. And the flashbang, you can see like the trail ends like right there, and that's where it goes off at. That's not doing anything. It's not even making it past the corner where the CTs are actually like, they're running, like say this is long, they're running up long like this. They don't have their backs turned because they're not particularly skilled, you know. You want your flashbang to like come out deep like that. You don't necessarily have to jump when you do it. Jumping is like if you're up to the door already. You wanna jump to make it clear that. But this flash and this smoke are supposed to be used during like the same spawn by the same person. So you buy a flash, you buy a smoke. When your teammate, the first guy out long, typically your opper, when he gets to about right there, you'll pull out your flashbang and you'll flash, not like that. You'll flash him out, and he'll clear along. He'll kill a yopper or whatever. There might be another one. You'll help him clear that guy too. Once all that's said and done, there is a shadow right here. This little shadow at the tip of it, right there, is where you want to put your crosshair for this smoke. This is gonna smoke the long cross. This is a good smoke that you want to master and get it to land perfectly every time. Otherwise, the CTs will be able to see through it and they'll spray you down, right? So the way this smoke is accomplished, you want to make your trajectory, like the direction you want to run while looking at that. The line for it should be like this. The line should start there and end there. You want the nade to be out of your hand by the time you get there. You start at the corner of this, or you can run before it, but just make sure the nade is out of your hand. Put your crosshair on there. It doesn't have to be super perfect. You just put your crosshair on there and run and throw before the smoke, before you get to that dirt pile, and it lands pretty much perfectly every time. Look at that. They can barely see through that. Like, maybe if they're like really cheeky CTs, they'll spot you maybe through like this little corner, but I doubt it. Like if they do spot you through that corner, like with your luck, they might as well have just spammed the smoke and you died anyway. For style points, you can master the smoke by doing it on the fly like that. Like, that was a really quick way of doing it. But that's just for style points. You kind of want to take your time with this smoke. It's not something that you want to just treat like willy-nilly. It's an important smoke to master. As a terrorist, like if there's a CT at this corner here, a good way of flashing him without him seeing the flashbang, like if you're right here, you throw it so that it banks like off that dirt pile right there, and because he'll be looking like this. He won't really see the flashbang coming out of there until it's too late, and like typically people turn like this, so it's gonna get him regardless. So that's a good flash to know. And as you're running up along, you know, there's gonna be a guy running from there to there, so a good way of screwing him up is to just bank a nade off that wall. Common sense, right? The next thing I want to show is let's do the mid to B and cat smokes. One of the ways to smoke off cat from middle is let's say you jump down here. It's the spawn round. You jump down here. There's two palm trees, one on the left, one on the right, and then there's a power line. You want to aim for this power line when you drop. Aim for the power line, pull the smoke back, and throw it while running. And it's gonna bounce off that door and the other door, and kind of get outdoors a little bit. And you gotta be careful here because they can actually see you as you're running up here. So one of the ways I combat this, once I throw the smoke, whatever, I quickly jump here, and then I aim for like the edge of this building. You aim for that, run forward, and bank it off that wall. That was a fail. I don't even know how that happened. That hardly ever happens. Run forward, aim up there. It bounces off, it goes over there. You get up here. They're not there because they got flashed. They're going to fall back, right? You come up here. You can also have like a teammate. Maybe you'll be the one throwing it. Aim for this line and like just when this barely starts to curve, get some curvature to it. Like about there is where you want to throw it. Or no. Like right there is where you want to throw it. Throw it like that. And this flashbang. Actually, you want it a little bit deeper. I was right before. Throw it more to like right there. Like that. Don't push with it though, because you'll get full blinded. And this flashbang, it lands right here. And as you can see, it's going to blind everyone looking. Everyone who's basically on cat is going to get blinded by this, by that flashbang. It's a really crucial flashbang. So just aim for the very edge right there as you're running up. Do that. When you hear it pop, come over here. Clear your angles. Clear your angles one by one. See, a lot of people, they throw this flashbang. They throw it like over the wall like that. That's a good flash, but like it's even better if you do it like this, like more that way. 'Cause it just covers a wider area. And maybe if you have a smoke lift, you can just toss it down there into CT. And ideally you want it to land here though. It'll deter people from rotating through that way, so you don't get shot at from there. A good HE to throw is for the guy. There's usually a guy like right here in sight. So a way to deal with him is to get a nade to bounce right there. And one of the ways you can accomplish this without being exposed to goose, you can do it. Just put your crosshair like above there, run forward and throw, and it'll bounce off of that spot. And if you look where it lands, where this nade lands, it's gonna do massive amounts of damage to this guy. He's gonna be standing right here, looking at cat. You throw that nade, he'll kind of panic like, ugh, and the nade will still get him. It'll do around 80 damage to that guy. He'll be an easy kill after that. Easy kill after that. Let's say you're coming up here. There's a guy goose. There's a guy there. There's a guy there. They're all giving you a trouble. A way of dealing with that would be to bank a nade, like try and make it hit that light. That was actually too deep. You're supposed to do it way back here though. Try and make it like hit that light a little bit. I'm failing really bad. Wow. Wow. Try and make it hit that so that it bounces into the side there. And this covers, you can't tell right now, but it covers all of this and goose as well. That smoke grenade does. So pretty much the only angle you really have to clear is elevator, ramp, car, elevator, this elevator spot here, car again, long. And by the time you saw where the nade landed, by the time you get here, you're going to be in a good spot to engage these folks here. He's probably going to be barrels at this point, and there's probably going to be one here. And you'll be at the perfect spot to deal with him. And that's pretty much it for A side. Or no, I didn't do the mid to B. Let me do the mid to B smoke. Mid to B is a really good strat for if you've already worked up cat. The CTs, they're going to be rotating out of B through CT spawn. And like you can just work up cat a little bit, just throw your flashes or whatever, and then like once you think that it's a good time, come back down to here and have someone throw this nade, or you do it if you still have your smoke. This is the mid to B smoke. You just throw it, like bank it off that window. Either of those work. And the smoke blocks off CT. You don't have to worry about CT at all unless they're like really cheeky and they push through the smoke a little bit. Like, but smokes are overpowered in this game. I wouldn't worry about it. You can also throw a flashbang, pretty much in the same spot, and it'll blind the guy who's holding this angle. Because if you look where it detonates, he'll be right here holding this, and it'll get him. It'll get him even if he's like not peeking you. See. If you're pushing B, oh, I forgot to show a way to retake B as a CT. As a CT or a T pushing into B from mid to B, you can retake B using this flash. That was wrong. Using this flashbang. You basically want it to hit the very peak right here. This flash takes some practice, and if you screw it up, it could cost you the round. See? Now you're down a flash, and you just flashed all of your teammates. Another flash to get into B is to bounce it off of this spot here. It goes into the site. Pretty much blinds everyone. Alright, now, as a terrorist pushing into the site, everyone should know by now. Or not by now, because there are people who are new to the game, but assuming you're watching this video, you should know this. You've seen people do it 100 times. That flashbang. That flashbang blinds everyone. The guy in the site, the guy in the window, the guy in the door, the guy at the car. Everyone except for the guy behind the boxes. And if there is a guy behind those boxes giving you trouble, a good way to deal with that is to stand at this corner to where this peak right here matches up with this black line at the top. Just aim to like right here and throw. And that smoke, it'll land to where like car is pretty much nullified, sight and window and door, all that's nullified, and you can just stream in like this and deal with them one by one. And the smoke covers you, so they'll see you by the time you're here, but they'll have to kill you pretty quickly before you cross. Once you're actually in the site, you want to smoke off the door. If someone's already smoked off the door, a good thing to do would be smoke off window. It doesn't always work that well. Really, the best way to smoke window is to just get up close and personal to it. Get up close and personal to it, and like maybe flash over, delay the counter-terrorist, flash over that way, while the bomb gets planted, and the door will be smoked still. And then that's pretty much it for T-side pushes as far as Dust 2 goes. One thing you can do as a counter-terrorist, not many counter-terrorists know this. If your teammate's opping long and like you want to flash for him, you can do it from here. Just aim at this sign. The nade will actually clip through this sign. Or no. You put your crosshair on the edge of this sign, and the nade doesn't get hurt by it. And it'll blind your teammate barely, but it'll full blind those guys as they push out. And if you're playing long solo, you can throw a nade over it like that. And basically, the reason you want to do it that way, and not this way, is because the guy who's opping long, he's going to be scoped in at you, watching this corner. If he sees that smoke, he's going to unpeek the doorway and wait for the flash to go off. Then he's going to re-peek and probably kill you, because you think you flashed him right, so you're going to peek. But this way, by throwing it this way, it's going to come from the top of his, like you're going to have a circle on the screen, the scope or whatever, it's going to come from the top, and he won't be able to see it until it's already popped pretty much in his face. Look at that. He's gonna be right here. That's an instant death right there. Getting flashed like that. You can also, like I said before, use it as a T. A good way to stop a cat push would be to just, like I said before, as a CT, it's really simple. You just throw smokes where they're pushing at, and it screws them up. Like you throw smoke to block pit, so that the sniper in pit doesn't get any picks on you, and you can just kill his teammates or whatever. It's a good way of doing it. Just blind them, deter them from pushing. It'll just by deterring them from doing things that they want to do during the round, even if it's just something like getting intel. Like if they're up cat and they're looking and they're trying to listen for where the CTs are, just by throwing flashes at them like this, you deter them from doing stuff, and that's like a round win. And as far as CT side goes, that's pretty much it for smokes. Like, if you need something smoked off, if you want doors smoked off, smoke it. If you want this area smoked off, smoke it off. It's up to you. See, when it comes to CT smokes, just throw them. Counter flashes, just throw them. There aren't too many like tricky nades you can use as a CT. And that's pretty much it for Dust 2. There are more advanced smokes that you can use. Like I know there's one where you can make the smoke land on this Xbox here. Personally, I think it's a waste of a smoke. Like you can smoke this to not get shot by that guy, but you might as well just flash him. And full blind them, and then you get to keep your smoke, and you don't have to go through the trouble of smoking the door and the Xbox. You can keep a smoke for later, and like if something happens, you still have one smoke left, and you didn't sink 2 smokes into a single cat bush that may or may not work, you know. So there's that. So just learning the basic smokes for each map is important. Learning what positions need to be smoked off and how to do it safely. Learn that for each map, you'll be dominating in no time.